The following is a presentation of iRacing.com Motorsports Simulations on LSRTV, the voice of sim racing.
Good evening, sim racing fans, and welcome to LSRTV's coverage of Round 8 of the Domino's TYJ Dented Fenders Truck Series, live from Sin City, Las Vegas, Nevada. Hi, atop the speedway, inside the booth tonight, as always, Tyler Herr. I'm Gabriel with Cisco Scaramuza down in the production truck, getting the picture you see to you tonight. On tap is the Bucky Birt Radio Show 192, a very special event, as it's the final event before the 2016 playoffs begin for the Truck Series. The top 19 in points will transfer in, and depending on the entries tonight, about 10 spots in the chase are up for grabs. So the drivers like Chad Payne, Bucky Birt, and Judd Danielson, they're all in the bubble area around 19th. Tonight's going to be a mad dash for any position that they can get. Unlike the NASCAR format, for the chase, there is no win and you're in. So unfortunately, drivers toward the end of the points table, such as Ryan Steinacker and Justin Rogers, have a very slim chance at a championship run. Tyler, with the amount of pressure, how many mistakes are we going to see from the drivers trying to get everything they can?
Well, with the stakes being as high as they are and being here in Sin City, Las Vegas, Nevada, you're going to see quite a few try and gamble out here, so it might pay off, might bite them in the rear end, so we'll have to wait and see at the end of this just to see who gets into this chase here tonight.
As I said, a lot of points up for grabs here tonight. Looks like we got almost 30 entries, so a lot of points are on the line tonight. Looking at qualifying, looking on the board right now, it looks like Gary Brown in that 23 is taking a provisional pole, so a good run from him. And then the 76 of Gene Collum, he's up to second. And one of the bubble drivers we were talking about, Tyler, Bucky Birt, clocks in third, so he's putting himself
one out here again tonight, that number 19 of Curtis Young.
Points. That's what we're talking about all night. Curtis Young, he's your points leader coming in tonight with 244. So it's a 10-point or 11-point gap over Michael Fravor. It's going to be Tyler Roberts right behind them. Going to look through here. It looks like 170 points for Judd Danielson. He's in 17th. 18th is Chad Payne, 3 points back. And then we got a tie for that transfer spot. Looks like Chad Payne's in 18th. David May with 166 points. It's a very tight battle for that points position. Well, as we get done with qualifying here, we're going to end our pre-race show. We got the national anthem. Then we're going to be back for the start of the Bucky Birt Radio Show 192.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
And that was Jaden Berkey for that rendition of the national anthem. Now, qualifying is over with. The drivers are on the starting grid for tonight's race. It's going to be Gary Brown on the pole and just 1/1000th behind him. Gene Collum in that 76, a very tight front row. 25 of Bucky Birt's going to roll off in third. Philip Meyer rolls off in fourth. And Curtis Young, the Mr. I Win Everything, rolls off in fifth. Judd Danielson in sixth. Lynn McNeese in that 84 rolls off seventh. 101 at David Gainforth in eighth. Ray Richer in ninth. And Patrick Elhofer rounds out your top 10.
Steve Cunningham will roll off the field in 11th place. On his outside will be Dennis Cook in 12th. Tyler Roberts will start 13th tonight. Gerald Heffley 14th. Mark Fravert will start in 15th. Mike Donahue 16th. Derek Fisher rolls off in 17th. The brother of Mark Fravert, Michael Fravert, will start 18th. Marcus Potts in the 2 will start 19th. And Chad Payne in the 9 will start in 20th position.
A couple of your bubble drivers around this top 20 area. Of course, the 9 of Chad Payne. The 16 of Justin Anderson rolls off in 21st. Gary Weston in the 14 rolls off 22nd. 23rd is going to be Joshua Ramos. Robert McFarland rolls off in 24th. And the last driver to take time in qualifying is the 92 of James Fain. Looks like David May is going to clock in with some provisionals as well as the rest of the field in 26th. Moses Rico in the 26th rolls off in 27th. 28th is going to be Chuck Dix, and rounding out your field, the 420 of Russ Coe. Drivers starting to warm up on their one and only formation lap. Tyler, final thoughts before green.
Now, I've seen practice in the Cup cars here at Vegas this week so far on the official side, and surprisingly, the place to get around here is at the top of 1 and 2. However, with the limited horsepower that these trucks have, expect the faster lane sort of towards the middle, but most of these guys, I think, are going to run the bottom lane. And just remember, Vegas here is slightly progressed banking. So the higher you go, the more banking you have. But it's not by much.
29 cars rolling through the banking here at Las Vegas. Pace car is going to pull off. It's going to be that 23 of Gary Brown on the pole. At 76 of Gene Collin looking for his first win of the year on that outside lane. American Childhood Cancer Organization Ford Mustang pace car is going to pull onto pit road. It's going to be that 23 leading them to the green. Here at Las Vegas, it's going to take a gamble to get into the chase. Let's see who's going to roll the dice. It's green flag here at Las Vegas. The 23 is going to get a good start at 76 on the outside lane. He's not going to check up. He's going to back up that 17 of Philip Meyer. These guys are going to fan out behind him. That 25 of Bucky Birt rolls into second with the 19 of Curtis Young behind him.
Yeah, the 76 of Gene Collin did not get a good start. He's now dropping all the way back to 5th place, but right now it is a line of trucks here with Gary Brown leading them, but Bucky Birt taking a look on the inside. Bucky Birt is going to get the run off the corner. Will he lead them to the line this time? Give that lap to Bucky Birt. He leads your first lap here at Las Vegas.
The first lap of the Bucky Birt 192 goes to the driver of that 25 machine. That is Bucky Birt with his sponsor on the hood. And that's going to allow that 19 of Curtis Young to get to the bottom of the 23 of Gary Brown. That's going to be a little disheartening, setting that fast time and not even getting to lead that first lap. But they're going to get a little close there in turn number 4. It's going to settle out that second spot. Give it to the 19 as they come to the line. A little bit of a run from that 23 of Gary Brown, but don't think it's going to last long. Single file basically for the rest of the top 5. These guys are going to have to figure out where they want to run. Looks like back here we got the 84 and the 85 running separate lines. The 84 and Lynn McNeese on the outside. He got a little jump on the person behind him. 85 of Judd Danielson.
Yeah, Len McNeese and Judd Danielson, those two we've been seeing fighting up towards the front of the field here the past couple of weeks, both in the trucks and in the Cup cars. And those two just always seem to be hanging around each other and somewhere in the top 5. So early on, the two drivers of the 84 and 85 both see themselves in 4th and 5th place right now, and we're going to try and keep an eye on them throughout the night, see if they can close the deal here. I know a few weeks ago Len McNeese got real close at Kentucky to securing a win, just finished 3rd, but he seems to be on a roll as of late, so we'll keep an eye on Len McNeese, see if he can get it done tonight.
Right behind them, the 76 of Gene Collin was your second place starter. He's fallen 0.8 of a second behind the leaders, now in 6th. That's got to be a horrible start for that driver of that 5 guys, Toyota Tundra. We're driving trucks here at Vegas. At 17 of Philip Meyer is right behind them. He's going to duck down to the bottom side of the racetrack. Going to try and get a run on that 76.
Philip Meyer completes the pass coming out of turn 4. Looks like he's still going to hold the bottom line there as the 44 of Ray Richer battles for what would be 7th position now between the 3 wide there for a split second. The 76 almost cutting across the nose of the 44, and Ray Richer thought better of that situation, just backed out just a little bit, and that could have been big going into turn 1.
Aggressive move from that 76, trying to get the position back. He's actually doing a good job at holding that inside lane on the 17 of Philip Meyer. But he's got those two guys side by side in front of him, the 84 and the 85. Going to see what's going to happen here as we cross on to lap number 7. It's still Bucky Birt out front. He's doing a really good job working his way up front. And now actually we got to change for that second spot. Gary Brown making the move on the 19 of Curtis Young. So Curtis is struggling just a little bit, but we really shouldn't count him out because Tyler, I believe we've done that about 3 weeks in a row, and he's ended up proving us wrong and taking the win.
Yeah, Curtis Young has always been someone to watch out for week in, week out, and right now he's coming back around trying to battle on the inside of the 23 for second place, right behind the 25 of Bucky Birt. And as they're side by side, there's Gary Brown with that run off the corner. That middle and high lane, as I said at the top of the show, has a little bit more banking, so if you're able to pinch the driver on the inside on that bottom line, you can get a much bigger run coming off the corner, and Gary Brown just showed us using that middle high line is a big advantage here at Las Vegas, as he's trying to see if he can't swing to the outside of Bucky Birt.
Outside lane work for that 23. Now the 25 of Bucky Birt jumps up to the outside lane to block off the 23. Not going to happen. Off of turn number 2, he's going to duck to the inside, going for the lead here on lap number 9. 23 of Gary Brown down to the bottom. He's going to bring that 19 of Curtis Young with him. Let's see who's going to lead the lap this time by. He's going to get clear of that 25 machine, but Bucky's going to go for that crossover move on the front straightaway. Lap number 9 is going to go to that 23 of Gary Brown, so it took him a couple laps, but your pole sitter's finally in the lead.
Yeah, Bucky Birt is not done yet. He's going to fight back on the very bottom line, right against that white line there of the apron, but the 23 gets that run off the corner, and Curtis Young gets his nose to the outside rear bumper of the 25 there. The 19, he's going to use that momentum on the high side. It's going to carry him off of turn number 4 there. Gets right up close to the wall, and he's going to take second place away from Bucky Birt. That time at the line, but just barely.
Now Bucky's got to be smart here. He's racing for that transfer spot into the chase, so he's going to have to watch out for any mistakes, as it looks like the 19 is going to get around on the outside. Almost gets into the wall there off of turn number 2, but he's going to sort itself out. That 25 rolls back into third. Looks like about single file throughout the rest of the field, Tyler, so these guys trying to figure things out. As soon as I say that, the 44 and the 8 of Tyler Roberts, they're getting a little battle brewing here. That 44 is running that outside lane. Tyler Roberts, he is stuck to that bottom side, so let's see what's going to happen here going into turn number 1. Looks like that 84 of Lynn McNeese, he's falling back just a little bit from the driver of that 85, Judd Danielson. We saw those guys running side by side earlier. And now he's running behind that 76 of Gene Collum. But I think a little battle is going to be brewing here between that 8 and 44.
Oh yeah, there was a huge battle as the leaders are battling for all the way from 4th place to 8th place. They were all stacked on top of one another. And with Vegas here, if you're... Oh, the 76 of Gene Collum is in the wall up in turns 1 and 2, all the way up to the top of the track, lets everyone by. Just got a little bit too high going into turn 1, scraped the wall. Minimal damage there, but that's really going to hurt as far as track position is concerned. The 76 has dropped all the way back, I believe, to around the 20th position after all is said and done. So a very tough break for that 76 of Gene Collum there early in this race.
From 2nd to 19th in the matter of 15 laps and just under it. Yeah, he fell back behind that 36 of Michael Fraber. Looks like we got a caution, big wreck. Oh, 86 of, looks like, oh gosh.
Steve Cunningham.
Yeah, the 70 of Mike Donahue involved in it, and at 76, he gets involved in it from his one mistake. It compounds into a huge wreck here. He's caught up in it.
Wow. Just going into turn number 1 there, it looked like the 86 just let out, and the 28 of Gerald Heffley just drives it in deep. Might have had a little bit of contact, but that 86 just went around quick, and then the 70 of Mike Donahue, nowhere to go, barrels into it, and the 76 collects a little bit of damage. Even the 9 of Chad Payne, but the 86 just tumbles through the corners there.
Yeah, it looks like the two drivers involved most heavily, the 70 and the 86. Those guys were not fighting for the transfer spots into the chase. At 28, looks like he was nowhere near the battle here in points, but that's still a big hit. You know, they had a relatively, not a easy chance, but it could have happened for him, and now with those damaged race cars, it's not going to happen for him this year.
Yeah, just a real tough break when there's a lot on the line there, and just getting involved in somebody else's mess. It's heartbreaking for sure, but you know, we've seen Mike Donahue. He's been in contention here for a few weeks throughout the season. Steve Cunningham, he's always been up there towards the top 10 and during the races, so that's tough for those two drivers for sure.
Pit stops happening here on pit road. Race off pit road. Looks like that 23 is going to get that lead back from the 19 of Curtis Younger. He's dropping back a little bit. Now he's speeding back up. I thought he sped there trying to get off pit road, but looks like he's going to maintain his position in that lead. It's going to be the 19 right behind him, and then the 25 of Bucky Birt and the 84 of Lynn McNeese. So your top four is going to remain the same here under caution here at Vegas. Was right here under caution. We're going to do a quick commercial break here on LSRTV here on lap 16. We'll be right back with the Domino's TYJ Dented Fenders Truck Series from Vegas.
Did you know that Lion's sense of vision is so powerful, it actually enables nearby creatures to see better? Here we see lions assisting the offspring of others, while their parents are elsewhere in the wild. Brilliant, isn't it? Making the wild kingdom look much better indeed. Do good, be a lion.
Back here live at Las Vegas Motor Speedway for the Bucky Birt Radio Show 192, the Domino's TYJ Dented Fenders Truck Series here in Sin City. We're a couple laps into the race, 128 laps on tap for tonight. We're 20 laps in, or just thereabouts. We're getting ready for the restart here on our first caution. Caught up the 70 and the 70, the 86, the 76, and the 28 cars. A little pile up there in turn number one, but we got it cleaned up. And we're going back racing. The 23 of Gary Brown on the inside. He is your control car for the restart. He is your leader. The 19 of Curtis Young on the outside, and the 25, Bucky Birt on the inside. Those two guys on the bottom have been pretty good up in the lead. Bucky Birt had it for a little while, and then the 23 finally got it from him. The 23 started on pole and did not lead a lap until about 14 or 15 laps into the race. But we're back here for the restart. That 23 is in the lead. A little bit better start from that outside lane. The 19's, in tow. They're side by side with them as they go into turn number 1. Let's see how that outside lane holds up as they go full throttle. That 25 of Bucky Birt's going to shove it down on the inside. See here coming off of turn number 2. That 23 of Gary Brown's all by himself in the lead.
Yeah, that was a great restart for the field. We saw the first 4 or 5 rows there just too wide. Bucky Birt gets a little bit of the apron there, shoots up the track. Doesn't hurt him though as they continue to battle for that second position there. Right behind them is the 84 and 44 of Len McNeese and Ray Richer. And behind them it's Philip Meyer and the 8 of Tyler Roberts. As our old colleague used to say, Ben Kilcrease, they are 2 by 2 by 2 right behind the leader of Gary Brown.
A little bit of switcheroo there. The 8 of Tyler Roberts and the 44 of Ray Richer. One goes to the outside, one goes to the inside. It looks like it sorted itself out there. The 8 pushes up the racetrack, has to get off the gas. That battle for second still brewing here on lap number 20 as we go into lap number 21. That 19's holding that outside lane pretty well, and that 25 doing a great job holding it there on the inside. He gets a good run. Let's see if he's going to pull that little slide job in front of the nose of the 19. Yes, he does. He's going to pull up in front of the 19's going to jump to the bottom. So in turn number 3, we're going to have that battle for second yet again. That's going to have that 25 on the outside. And looks like that 84 of Len McNeese is going to come down there in that icy machine and take that third position. Looks like it doesn't. That 25 of Bucky Birt, he wants that second position bad as he does the crossover on the bottom side of the racetrack going into 1.
Yeah, tonight I think is the most fire I've seen coming out of that 25 truck all season long. I know back in Bristol, he was very determined on having a good run in that race, was not able to get the results he was looking for, but tonight, he started up in the 3rd position, and he's been fighting since the drop of the green flag. This is the most determined I've seen Bucky Birt all season long. He's going to be one to contend with by the end of this, so I'm going to keep my eye on that 25. I know that he really wants to win this race bad.
Yeah, he's showing multiple race winner Curtis Young that he is there on that bottom side of the racetrack. Going to give an update of that little battle here in just a few minutes. That 8 of Tyler Roberts, he's to the inside of the 84 of Len McNeese, and then he's going to bring that 17 of Philip Meyer with him. Going to be battling on that bottom side of the racetrack, and looks like the 85 of Judd Danielson's going to follow him. 84 stuck on the outside. The 44 of Ray Richer are right behind. We got a good battle. This is actually a really good racetrack, Tyler, for this side-by-side racing because, like you said at the pre-race show, this is progressive banking, and that promotes a lot of side-by-side action.
Yeah, but on the same side of it, it provides the drivers to get a little bit more frustrated when they want to go because you'll have 2 guys fighting side-by-side lap after lap, almost like neither lane's really able to get a run, and if you're behind them and just stuck behind them, you don't know which way to go, you don't know which lane's going to be the one that's moving, and you end up sitting back there and everyone else comes up behind you as you feel like you're losing time to the trucks that are in front of that battle, and you're just sitting there getting more and more frustrated, and we might see a few tempers run short here, and having tempers run short at a 1.5-mile racetrack is a little bit more on the rare side. You'd expect that from a half-mile track.
Going to give an update on your bubble drivers in the chase. Of course, that 85 of Judd Danielson fighting for a spot, but also the 9 of Chad Payne, and right behind him, the 16 of Justin Anderson. They're all around that bubble position in 19th to get into the chase. They're going to be fighting for every spot they can get just in case somebody behind them. It looks like the Justin Anderson running in 20th. He's tied with the 88 of David May. And May, it looks like he's running just a few spots behind him in 21st. So at this point, Justin Anderson would be in front of the 88. Behind them, looks like Gary Weston, Marcus Potts, and even Gary Brown, our leader, they're a couple points behind. So if these guys remain where they are, that Gary Brown machine, if he can get away with the victory, he may have a chance of making the chase.
Yeah, tonight it's just a big chess match to see who's going to finish where, and the points are just going to be calculated throughout the entire race. We're not sure. Oh, Philip Meyer just brushed the wall going into turn number 1. Not a lot of damage, didn't slow him down, but as I was saying there, Gabe, it's just going to be a continuous crunch of the calculator for the points situation, as everyone else has to think about everything that needs to be done on the track at the same time. So a lot of thoughts are going through these drivers' heads. A little bit of contact between the 17 and the 2, I believe, of Marcus Potts there. So some very tight racing as well, but still, there's a lot for these drivers to be thinking about right now, and that might be a distraction, but if you can just focus on the job at hand tonight, you might end up on the right side of points there by the end of it.
A couple of your drivers are locked in. The 19 of Curtis Young. These are on points, of course, not wins, because the win you're in, Matt, is not alive here in the Domino's TYJ Racing Series. You have to get in on points, and the 19 of Curtis Young, the 36 of Michael Favorite, Tyler Roberts, Lynn McNeese, Derek Fisher. You see them battling with the 54 and the 2 of Marcus Potts right in there in that battle. They're all locked in on points, including the 41 of Robert McFarland, Chuck Dix, Ray Richard, and James Becky. Those are your guys that are definitely in the chase for the 2016 season. Everybody else is up for grabs in this field. It looks like that battle's settling out there right behind them. The 36 of Michael Favorite, he is battling with the 13 of Derek Fisher, doing a good job on the inside lane. He's working his way up. He started 18th, now he's going for that 12th spot. Now he's clear of that 13 machine, so moving him into 12th. Back up front, that battle, Tyler, it's sorted itself out. That 25 ended up being passed for good by that 19 of Curtis Young, and now he's kind of settled there in that 3rd spot between the 19 and the 84.
Yeah, right now after that restart, everyone just kind of settled down, and of course the driver mentality is to grab as many positions as you can right when everyone's close together, and now everyone's just trying to ride around, trying to conserve tire wear, and just sort of get into a bit of a rhythm here for the later part of the run, just to see where they're going to end up. But there is still plenty of battles going on. Just a little while ago, Patrick Elhofer was looking on the inside of Judd Danielson. They've since sorted that battle out, and it's so far single file here for the top 9. Right now the closest battle up front is between the 2 and the 54, as the 54 got a little tight underneath the 2, and the 84 right now of Len McNeese, he's looking underneath the 25 of Bucky Birt. Could not get it done coming out of turn number 4, just too tight on the bottom there, had to roll out, and the 25 was able to just stay in the throttle.
Well, we got a chance, a couple of cars off the racetrack, the 70 of Mike Donahue, the 86 of Steve Cunningham, and Gary Weston for an unrelated incident in the 14 and 29. He is also out of tonight's running, at least I can see. He hasn't disconnected so far, but he is 18 laps down, the same as the drivers who have wrecked. But Tyler, this battle for 3rd is going to shape up here, and as soon as they get side by side, that's going to bring in the 8 of Tyler Roberts, who I know, I talked to him in the pre-race, he is hungry for a win.
Yeah, Tyler Roberts has gotten close to a win, has not been able to seal one yet. And right there goes the 84 on the inside. Not clear, but it looks like Bucky Birt might have rolled out just a little bit to let the 84 in as they go underneath the lap truck of Gerald Heffley in the 28. And Len McNeese is going to make his way in that icy machine up to the 3rd position behind your leaders Gary Brown and Curtis Young.
The 28 letting everybody by. A little bit of a battle almost brewing here between the 44 and the 2, Ray Richard and the 2 of Marcus Potts. Potts gets to the back bumper. Now he's to the inside in turn number 2. He's going to go down the Nellis straightaway. Down into turn number 3. He's going to get that little run there on the bottom. See if he can do anything with it. Right in front of them, the 17 and the 8 are side by side. And looks like a little bit better of a battle between those two. The 17 on the inside, the 8 of Tyler Roberts on the outside. They're going to come by the start-finish line this time by running 7th and 8th. Tyler Roberts, he's running that outside lane pretty much religiously. He hasn't come off it in the past couple laps. At 17, he's been darting inside and out, just trying to find the grip.
Yeah, it's just so difficult to get that run off the corner when you're on the inside. You need the entire track to carry your momentum up off the corners, but right there it looked like Tyler Roberts got into the gas a little too soon, had to roll out, and the 17 of Philip Meyer was able to complete the pass there. And right behind them, Marcus Potts dives it into turn number 1. So far he's cleared the 44 of Ray Richer, but here comes Ray Richer crossing over down that backstretch. We'll see if he's going to be able to get that run through the center of 3 and 4. Lets out a little bit early, so he's not going to be able to stay side by side, and that 2 of Marcus Potts is going to move up into the 9th position, now looking underneath the 8 of Tyler Roberts, and Tyler Roberts just looks like he's slowed up or just didn't get that run that he needed out of turn 4. Marcus Potts just passed him like he was standing still.
That white and red pit stops for Hope Chevy Silverado, that 2 machine of Marcus Potts, working his way up through the field, trying to get it done here. Up from the 19th starting spot up to 8th now. Doing a great job on the racetrack. Little update through the field. We got a couple of guys following behind. It's at the 23rd position, the 99 of Chuck Dix. He is the final car on the lead lap. He's been in that little bit of a battle for that chase spot. He's not going to do it this year if he cannot get up front. Right behind them, the 420 of Rusco. He's your first and only car on the lead, off the lead lap. 1 lap down. So Tyler, if he can get a caution here, he's going to be back in this thing, because I know the 420, he's not back there for any reason, for no reason. He's a pretty good old race car driver. I think he can get up there once he gets a caution.
Yeah, I think at this point right now in this race, I think plenty of drivers are really wanting to see a caution, because we're seeing some damage starting to accumulate on some trucks here. The 36 of Michael Fravert, he has some heavy front end damage, and the back end of the 54 has some matching rear end damage, so it looks like there might have been a checkup somewhere, and the 36 got into the rear of the 54, and that 8 of Tyler Roberts, he has some right side damage all the way from the front to the back, so he must have slapped the wall hard at some point during this run, which is why he was dropping back through the field. But surprisingly, we saw Marcus Potts pass the 8, and now Marcus Potts, he's dropping back. He's really slow right now. He has some right side damage, so looks like the outside wall is starting to claim some victims here tonight.
Yeah, I think once we run a few laps here, Tyler, these guys, they get a little overambitious with the fact that they can run pretty much full throttle around this racetrack, and once it gets to that point, they really can't, but they think they can, and they end up slapping that wall either out of 2 or out of 4. I think 4 is going to be the more dangerous spot here tonight, just because of the fact that you can kind of turn it down off of turn number 2, and the safer barrier kind of goes away, so it gives you a little extra room. But Tyler, these guys battling side by side, that's about a 10 or 15 car gaggle here between the 8th and about 20th spots. These guys are racing pretty hard.
Yeah, they're... 44 of Ray Richard, the 22 of Joshua Ramos.
Look at the 13! Look at the run the 13 got, Tyler. Sorry, he got a monster run off 4.
Yeah, they are all fighting side by side. The 44 almost touches the door. The 22 of Joshua Ramos. Everyone's just sort of scattering for as many positions as they can get. This is just an intense pack of cars right now. 22 drifts up, almost clips the 8, has to check up, and now, Marcus Potts gets into the wall. Everyone's scattering 4 wide on the front stretch.
9 and 54 made a good move, or the 9 and the 16, Chad Payne and Justin Henderson made a good move to get around the 54, got stuck behind, so now he's going to go by. That 2 of Marcus Potts, he full throttled it in there, just trying to get as many positions as he could. Contact coming off of 2. Looks like they're going to hang on to it, but a little contact between the 54 and the 2.
And this racing through this mid-pack of the field is getting intense here tonight. Just drivers trying to get as many positions as they can. And we're really starting to see some guys coming up through the field, passing a lot of drivers. Side by side, though, for about the 5th position. Bucky, Birt, and Philip Meyer. Philip Meyer is looking underneath, completes the pass as they go into turn number 3. So Philip Meyer, he's really starting to rise through the field. The number 5 of Patrick Elhoff right behind them, he's rising through the field. And Joshua Ramos, he is really starting to come up towards the front there. He started in 23rd position, currently running in the 9th position, 7.5 seconds off your leader, Gary Brown.
Yeah, talk about guys coming up through the field. Talk about guys falling back. That our second starter, the 76, Gene Collum, he started on the second outside row, and now he's back behind the 88 of David May in 18th. So you got to feel for that dude. You know, he just has not had the car once the race got underway. He got into the wall early, and I think that pretty much screwed his night off the get-go, because he really had a good car in qualifying and in practice, but just couldn't get the handle on it during the race.
Yeah, once you start getting yourselves around a bunch of other drivers who are trying to race, it's just difficult to tell what the truck is going to do in a close racing situation. And it looks like the 8 of Tyler Roberts is ducking down onto pit road right now. Hard onto the brakes, the 8 Budweiser machine of Tyler Roberts coming down onto pit road, which this might be the start of scheduled green flag pit stops here, Gabe.
Yeah, because we went about 10 laps, Tyler on green flag and then pitted, and during that first caution. And you said to me under the caution there as we went to commercial, you can go about 40 laps, so we should see the beginning of some guys start short pitting.
And the 54 of Dennis Cook slides through his pit box, almost tags the inside wall right in front of Tyler Roberts as the 8 was making his pit stop. So under green flag, mistakes like that are going to hurt really bad for these drivers. And considering that the 54 isn't having as good a night as he's wanting, that's really tough for them. But right now, a big battle out on track here between the 5 of Patrick Elhofer, the 22 of Joshua Ramos, Bucky Birt, and the 13 of Derek Fisher. These 4 drivers tight together. That's for positions 5th through 8th.
Yeah, Bucky Birt falling from 4th now down to that 7th spot, trying to hold off that 8th position driver of the 13 of Derek Fisher. I think Bucky kind of wore out his tires there on the lead and trying to race up there side by side with the 19 of Curtis Young there a few laps ago, Tyler, and I think that's basically screwed up his run. He's going to have to wait for pit stops. If I were him, I would actually try and just short pit and get as many positions as I can and maybe hope for a caution later.
Yeah, short pitting really kind of starts the pit cycle out here, because once one driver heads down, you're going to have another, and before you know it, you're going to have half the field in, and then you're going to have to pit. So Bucky Birt, he might be able to take advantage of this, but it depends on when he wants to go down pit road, and he stays out for another lap, so he might have a set... Bucky might have a set pit strategy, and he's going to try and stick to it. And so far, this green flag sequence has lasted the last 32 laps here under green, so we're closing in on the rest of the field to come in, and I believe the 17 of Philip Meyer just signaled that he's coming down pit road, and here comes the 17.
17 Philip Meyer down on pit road. He's going to lock it up, trying to slow down, and gets down to pit road speed. Coming down to its pit stall. Looks like he's the only one in his area really on the racetrack coming down. It's like an empty pit road for that 17 as he comes in to make his pit stop. Hopefully no mistakes on that Chevy Silverado, either by the pit crew or by his entry. He's going to come in, stop it perfectly in his box. The right sides are going to go up, and then the left side, so it should be a 4-tire pit stop. Should see if anybody else comes on pit road, because this is the real indication. We didn't see Philip having any kind of problems. We saw the 8 of Tyler Roberts smack the wall a little bit, so that could have been a kind of a force his hand pit stop to get some damage repaired. But that 17, he's been on a rail all night, Tyler, so this should really be the start of our green flag pit stops.
I'm not sure if the 17 had a speeding penalty getting in. He stayed in his pit stall for about an extra... It seemed like 5-10 seconds maybe. That might have been a speeding penalty, and that's going to hurt big time out here unless he can really start clicking off the lap times here. But tough break for the 17, just one slight mistake, and that's really going to drop you down through the standings.
Looks like another car on pit road, the 76 of Gene Collin. Patrick Elhofer signaling to pit road. So the 6th place driver is trying to work his way down. He ends up getting passed by that 84 Len McNeese on his way down in the pit stall. He's not going to be able to make it here this time, Tyler. So I think he tried to make it to the bottom side, and the 84 just didn't know it and kind of passed him.
Yeah, maybe Len McNeese there. It looked like Patrick Elhofer was using hand signals there instead of calling out over the radio that he was coming down pit road. There's the hand signals again from Patrick Elhofer. Judd Danielson, he's signaling that he's going to come down pit road. Elhofer has nobody behind him right now. It looks like the 101 of David Gainforth is also coming down pit road. So plenty of guys here coming down at this lap 57 mark. 57, 58, and Curtis Young, he's signaling that he's going to be coming down pit road. The 22 of Joshua Ramos, I believe he's calling out that he's coming down. 44 of Ray Richer. So here comes the rest of the field coming down for service, 4 fresh tires, and a full tank of fuel.
Gary Brown on pit road. He's completing his pit stops here. That's got to be one of the hardest pit entries here. Down from about 160 miles an hour, Tyler, all the way down to 50. Looks like that 23 leaving a pit stall coming back onto the racetrack. He's going to have to stick on the apron through 1 and 2. Come out onto the racetrack. Let's see where he's going to end up. He's going to form back up. It's like all these guys making their pit stops now. So yeah, Tyler, I think that 17 was the beginning of the green flag pit stops, because that 8, I think he was really struggling there, so I think he just pitted a couple laps earlier. Oh, that 25 of Bucky Birt, he's having a little trouble getting on pit road. He's going to lock it up a little bit, but yeah, he's going to end up making it, Tyler. That was kind of weird. It looks like he hit some sort of bumps there entering the corner, and that just upset his car.
Yeah, as you just alluded to, that this is a very tricky pit road to get onto. You really have to slow it down, and it's a very quick one that you have to turn on to. It's just really difficult because you're mid-corner and trying to slow it down and get the car all the way down to where it's supposed to be. It's a very tall order for most drivers here, and the other thing that I just saw here, the 8 of Tyler Roberts a few laps ago, he tried to make passes down below the apron on the front stretch, just got loose on the transition of the banking, smacked the inside wall, and now Tyler Roberts is struggling. He can't even get over 160 miles an hour.
Yeah, a lot of damage on that 8 Budweiser machine as he trundles around the racetrack. So unfortunate for him. It's like Chad Payne now on pit road, so he is your last car to come on the pit road. And Tyler, look at this. Len McNeese is your leader.
I was just about to point out there, it looks like Len McNeese has about a 2-second advantage over the 23 of Gary Brown here. So with the 9 of Chad Payne on pit road, this is going to cycle the lead over to Len McNeese, but the 23 of Gary Brown, he's charging hard here. He cut that lead down by about half a second. So fresher tires on that 23 of Gary Brown. He is moving up to the lead and quick.
He wants to get that lead pretty quickly. Now he's around that 54. He's trying to get around in that 54 Dennis Cook. He's not going to be able to do it. That 54, I think he's got a little bit newer tires or something now. Looks like we're going to be 3 wide on the front straightaway. And here comes that 23 of Gary Brown there. He's following in the trails of that 76 of Gene Collin on the outside lane. He's actually going to use him as an anti-pick and use that outside lane to get around that leader. So here we go, battle for that lead. The 84 of Len McNeese around to the 23 of Gary Brown back into the lead here on lap number 63 as we approach halfway here in this 128 lap event. Across onto lap 64. 84 now down into that second spot. 23 now up into the lead. And As we cross lap number 64, that's actually going to put us halfway in tonight's race. As we cross the halfway point, let's take a look at our iRacing Midway Race Break, brought to you by iRacing, the world's premier online racing game, with professionally organized racing from NASCAR, IndyCar, IMSA, and more. In the lead right now, you saw him just get it. That 23 of Gary Brown working his way through the lead, working his way through lap traffic. The 84 of Len McNeese now in second. Curtis Young now into that third spot. Actually, got a little chase here. The 19 got around the 84, so moved that 84 Len McNeese down to third. Judd Danielson in fourth. The 17 of Philip Meyer in fifth. Joshua Ramos in sixth. Patrick Elhofer in seventh. Derek Fisher in eighth. Ray Richer in ninth, and David Gainforth now running in that 10th spot.
All the way back in 11th place is the 25 of Bucky Birt. The 9 of Chad Payne sits in 12th position. Robert McFarland is 13th. 14th, the 88 of David May. The 16 truck sits in 15th. That's Justin Anderson. Mark Favorite sits in 16th. 17th is Chuck Dix. The first truck, one lap down, Gene Collins sits in 18th position. 19th goes to Dennis Cook, and the 8 truck that is limping around out here of Tyler Roberts sits 20th.
21st is the 2 of Marcus Potts. We saw him slap the wall a couple laps ago, racing around that top 10 area. The 92 of James Fain running in 22nd. 420 of Rusco running in 23rd. Michael Fravert, second in points, running 24th, 2 laps down. Moses Nizrico, the rest of these guys are off track and out of their cars. It's that 25th position of Moses Nizrico in the 26th. Gerald Heffley now running in 26th, 39 laps down. All the rest of these drivers out as well. The 70 of Mike Donahue, the 86 of Steve Cunningham, and the 14 of Gary Weston in 29th, 51 laps down. This has been your iRacing Midway Race Break. For more information on the wide variety of sim racing possibilities online, visit iRacing.com to sign up today. You can use LSRTV promo code by entering capital PR-2016 LSRTV when registering for a new iRacing membership, and you get the late model free of charge, along with 13 cars and 14 tracks included with the first-time membership. That code is going to be put into the comment section of the video down below. And as we do that, we're going to go to commercial break real quickly here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. We're going to go LSRTV nonstop here from the Domino's TYJ Dented Fenders Truck Series. Back here live at Las Vegas Motor Speedway for the Bucky Birt Radio Show 192. It's the Domino's Dented Fenders Truck Series. Looks like Gary Brown is your leader. He took the lead just a couple laps ago from Lynn McNeese, and now that 84 Icy Machine is down in that 4th spot. Curtis Young moves into 2nd, and Judd Danielson has now moved into that 3rd spot. So Tyler, these guys getting it done here, actually making some really good passes. That 84, that short pitting, I believe, he was one of the first guys to come on the pit road, and that ends up biting him.
Yeah, with such a long run that's going on now, that's going to be the bit of a trade-off there. You get fresh tires for about the first 10, 12 laps there, and then you just start falling back from there because of the difference between 1 lap old tires and 10 lap old tires, and that's what Len McNeese is fighting right now. He's 10 laps older than what your leaders of Curtis Young and Gary Brown are running, so he's just dropping back bit by bit here. For instance, Gary Brown's last lap was a 31.24. Len McNeese ran a 31.85, and that's a 10 lap difference there, and that's half a second worth of time lost on the 84 machine. So really right now he has to hope that if there's not a caution that he's going to be able to come down pit road, get tires, and it'll all cycle back out to where he can be out in front again, and then maybe get a caution and reset the entire field then.
Yeah, right now that 84 under attack from the 420 of Russ Coe. He's 2 laps down, and looks like he's got a little newer tires. So that 420, Russ Coe, he's still got a little speed under that Toyota Tundra. So if he can get a caution and end up getting his way back onto the lead lap, I think that's what all these drivers are talking about, Tyler. Just let me get a caution, please. I think one of them talking about is Bucky Birt, because he came into the pit stop about 7th or 6th or 7th on the racetrack, Tyler. Now he's back to 11th. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, we started to see Bucky really fall off there in the middle part of the run. It was a bit by bit, but then he got caught in a big pack of trucks, and that's where I think the most damage was done to the wear of those tires, and he just wasn't able to hold on, and it's just been a steady fall back for that number 25 here tonight. I know I said earlier he has a lot of fire underneath him tonight, and it just seems like the tires really aren't working out for him here, so he's one that's really hoping for a caution, because if he can get one, I know he's going to try and get back up through that field, but there are a lot of strong guys, and one of them moving up as well, the 22, Joshua Ramos. He's in 5th position. He passed Philip Meyer in the 17 just a few laps ago, and he's running about the same lap times as your leader, Gary Brown.
Look on the inside of the 25 of Bucky Birt. The 44, Ray Richard. Tyler, he's got some damage on that right rear. He had to get some damage from somebody hitting him or getting up into the wall, because he has dropped off the pace by a lot.
Yeah, that damage could have come from trying to get onto pit road and just being tagged, or he might have just gotten loose and smacked that outside wall. It's just hard to tell where he might have gotten it from, but it looks like he's down on power though, so whatever happened to him must have been significant enough to really hurt that truck.
I tell you what, Tyler, we got a battle brewing for this lead. The 19 of Curtis Young, he has caught the 23 of Gary Brown. The tires are starting to fall away on that Gibson Guitar Chevrolet, and now at 19, that purple people eater. I like to call him, we got a little nickname for that 19, because he absolutely devours every car he gets to. We've been doubting him the past couple weeks, Tyler, in the early stages, because he hasn't been qualifying well and been running around the outside top 10. But he always gets up front. We're going to learn to not doubt that 19 machine. Looks like that 5 of Patrick Elhofer trying to get around both these leaders and get back on at least one lap back. He's down to the inside racetrack. Good job for him. Or good thing for him that both the drivers are running that outside lane. Now that 19 drops to the bottom, he's going to go for the lead here in turn number 3.
Curtis Young has just been sitting back there and waiting all night long for an opportunity like this, and It looked like Gary Brown might have really tried to push the truck. He almost gets into the wall outside of turn 4, and there goes Curtis Young. His first lap led on the night here on lap 84, and put that 19 truck back into the lead. Gary Brown, though, he's not done fighting. He pulls up to the back bumper, and Curtis Young, he's defending the middle there instead of pulling up to the outside. So that was a very interesting move done by the Curtis Young, but we're going to see him lead this lap here as well. But Gary Brown, he's not done fighting as they come up on the lap truck of Ray Richer.
I was about to say, that bottom lane's going to get dangerous in a few seconds because that 44 is slow on the bottom. Now he's gotten around the two, he's going to let those 2 leaders by on the outside lane. That 23 is going to fall in station there. They're not really running that hard, Tyler. You can see that because they're not drifting up near the wall. I think they're kind of saving their stuff here for the next couple laps.
Well, Gary Brown can try and save as much as he wants right now, but I don't think he's going to be able to save enough to get back around Curtis Young unless he pulls some sort of strategy, either by gambling by a short pitting or not. But another driver we have to look out for, Judd Danielson, he's closed in a second on the 2 leaders. Fell back just by about a tenth that last lap by. But with Curtis Young having that clean air, we're going to start seeing the 19 pull away and maybe the 23 fall back into the clutches of that 85.
Closing in 40 laps to go here at Vegas. Tyler, I think we've seen our leader and maybe our winner start pulling away here because that 19, if he gets in the lead in the late stages of the race, I mean, he's almost like a Kevin Harvick. It's Mr. Where did he come from? Because he was nowhere in about that 3rd or 4th or 5th position during that first run. And now he's up into the lead, so he's doing a great job up front. And hats off to that 23 Gary Brown. Hadn't seen him up front all that much this year, but when we did, he put on a good show, and now he's doing it, trying to race for a win here at Vegas.
You know, Gabe, I think Curtis Young, he's not really where did he come from. He just stalks out the competition. He tries to watch where the strengths and weaknesses of other drivers are, and he knows exactly when to pounce on their mistakes. And he was just watching the 23, trying to learn where he was going to start to see the fall off. And now he starts seeing that fall off about 15 to 20 laps into this run, and he just pounced on that 23 truck, and now he's just starting to slowly inch away. Not as much as he probably would like to, but just a little bit lap by lap.
Riding here past halfway and closing in on the final stages of tonight's race here at Vegas. We'll be right back here on LSRTV. We're going to go LSRTV non-stop from the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. It's the Domino's Dented Fenders Truck Series and the Bucky Birt Radio 192. We'll be right back here on LSRTV, the voice of sim racing. Back here live at Vegas, pit stops are now happening. That 19 of Curtis Young and the 23 of Gary Brown on pit road. Who's going to get the advantage? The 19 was in the lead, and that 23 won. Let's see who's going to come off the pit road first. The jack is going to drop on that 19, so he's going to get the lead coming off of pit road. We're going to see who's going to cycle around for that lead once pit stops are over with. They've just started here at Vegas. That 85 of Judd Anderson is on the racetrack now. He is your leader closing in on lap number 100, Tyler, so we should be good to the end.
Definitely good on fuel. It's just a matter of, will this race end under green, or is there going to be a caution that's going to pull everyone back together? We're going to have to see and wait this one out just to find out here. Pit stops continuing to cycle the field through here, and it looks like number 17 of Philip Meyer, he was running in second position here while pit stops were happening. He's going to bring his Chevy Silverado down to pit road pace speed of 50 miles an hour. Looks like he got on no problems whatsoever this time round, so no additional penalties for the 17 this time.
85 still on the racetrack, followed by the 9 of Chad Payne and the 41 of Robert McFarland. And he's doing a pretty good job. He's getting under attack from that 76 of Gene Collum. Gene still having a fast race car. It's just he got caught a lap down, or a couple laps down, after being damaged from that wreck in the first couple laps, Tyler. So he's still got a good race truck, but it's just not going to work out for him tonight.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate for him, you know. As he said, he started in second position there, but just things haven't gone right whatsoever. And another driver, Chad Payne, sitting in second position right now. This is going to be sort of a very close finish as far as it comes between him and the 16 of Justin Anderson. Justin Anderson sits in the 5th position currently, but he's about 6 seconds behind Chad Payne, and those two are fighting for points positions here to get into this chase.
Yeah, throw the 88 of David May into the mix, because I believe Justin Anderson and the 88 of David May they're tied for that transfer spot in the 2016 Truck Series playoff chase. No winning you're in, as we've said, as these drivers go down the Manila straightaway here, closing in on pit stops here around lap 100, but no winning you're in, Tyler, so that puts a lot of pressure on these guys to do good week in and week out throughout the season.
Yeah, and it looks like Justin Anderson is ducking onto pit road here, trying to see if he can't get an advantage of fresher tires over David May. Essentially, what it's going to come down to between those two is who crosses the finish line first, because depending on who it is, that's going to be the driver that gets into the chase format here. But looking back at your prospective leader here after everything filters through, Curtis Young is out ahead of Gary Brown here by about 1 second. Although Gary Brown, his last lap was a 30.56 to Curtis Young's 31.13, but crossing the line here, Curtis Young has been able to pick it back up to a 30.80. Gary Brown 30.70, so 1/10 of a second faster for the 23.
I tell you what, I know what Chad Payne's doing. He's getting a little bit of a lap lead here, try and get some bonus points, Tyler. And, you know, if David May was smart, he would see that and stay out an extra lap and get that lap lead to pull out on Justin Anderson.
But at what cost would it be for David May? Sure, he might get that one extra bonus point, but by staying out, he's losing about 1.5 to 2 seconds over the 16. So that could be very bad news for the 88 here at the end of the race. But Chad Payne, your leader on pit road, that's going to cycle it back over the lead to David May in the 88. He's going to get a lap lead.
Coming by the stripe this time, yes, he does get that lap lead, so one extra bonus point in the books for that 88 machine. But look, 3 seconds behind them. Oh, well, Tyler, look at this. That 23, he's caught the 19.
I think the 23 crew is saying that it's go time right now. Trying to get a run on the outside. He holds it in the center lane there. 19 drifts up a little bit, but Gary Brown, he's able to stay right in line there. And he's within a truck length of that back bumper of the 19 of Curtis Young. And David May, he pulled down onto pit road, so Curtis Young is now your leader here. This is a battle for the lead now.
Battle for the lead on the Nellis straightaway. Do we have one? Okay, I thought we had one car spinning on the back straightaway, but it was a car coming off of pit road onto the apron. At least we still under green here. We haven't had a caution, Tyler, since around lap 20, so a good 80-plus lap green flag run here to end the night, and hopefully we got 21. As soon as I say it, I jinxed it, the LSRTV curse. We now have a caution.
17 of Philip Meyer is around on the back straightaway, and
25 of Bucky Birt was just stopped.
wow, heavy contact for the 17. Just seemingly nowhere to go for him, and it looks like
Tyler,
Bucky,
it looks like the Bucky Birt machine, that 25, got loose on the apron coming up through the gears, and he spun it and overcorrected, slides up the field, and then he's just stopped, and he had nothing he could do. He couldn't get out of the way, and that 17 just nails him. Ends up barrel rolling over the 54 and the 76, so that puts an end to both their nights. And I tell you what, depending on where that 25 is, that could spell an end to his championship.
this certainly has some championship implications here tonight with that wreck of the 25 of Bucky Birt. That's going to drop him all the way back to around the 22nd position here.
Yeah, Tyler, I'm looking at the point standings. He was only 10 points ahead of the cutoff coming into the night. So he may be in jeopardy of getting out of the chase here.
Well, looking at it right now, it looks like the furthest that he can drop back is going to be into 23rd position. And that battle between Justin Anderson and David May for the final transfer spot, David May sits in 10th position right now with 1 lap led. And Bucky Birt, he's going to drop far back here, so this might have just put Bucky Birt out of contention.
Well, we've been talking about, either or between these bubble drivers, the 88, the 16, and the 9. Tyler, we could be talking about all of them getting in the chase now.
We're going to have to see what happens here in about 20 laps to finish this off. Race off of pit road, though, it looks like. The 23 beating the 19 off of pit road. What a stop for Gary Brown's pit crew there. Getting that 23 truck up into the lead. We're going to set the field back up here for you after green flag, or pit stops under caution here, your second caution of the night. So far, the race off of pit road, Gary Brown in the 23, followed by Curtis Young in the 19, the 22 of Joshua Ramos, the 13th of Derek Fisher, and the 85 of Judd Danielson. That's your top 5 coming off of pit road.
All right, we're under caution here at Vegas, and I believe we've dialed up the team radio of that number 25 machine as he sits on pit road trying to get it fixed. Bucky Birt, I know there's things to talk about, but you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you guys.
And you were in a position to make the chase. What happened there on the exit of pit road?
Well, first of all, I got put in a bad position. I was running 4th or 5th early in the race. Tires were really falling off, and I brushed the wall and lost the handling on the truck, and I was just trying to hang on, hoping for another caution so I can get it fixed and get back up there. I had a pretty good truck. It was pretty fast tonight. And so we lost some track position. I was coming off the pits there, making my final stop for the race if we stayed green. And I went to go shift it into 3rd gear, and all of a sudden it just started sliding, and I overcorrected it and came up the track. I hate that for those guys, especially for my Bucky Birt Show Nature's Bakery Toyota Tundra. We had a pretty good truck tonight and had a good top 10 going. We definitely had a top 3 truck, in my opinion.
That's unfortunate. Yeah, you put on a good show leading the first couple laps, Bucky. I believe that's the first time that's happened this year. You leading the first couple laps of a race. You had to be pretty excited about that.
Yeah, we had a great truck in qualifying. Was able to qualify third and took the lead there on lap 1 and led, I think, the first 13, 14 laps. And we had a good truck, especially early in the run. But once the tires wore off, it got real tight. And we were just trying to hang on and maintain position. But this is a good track for me. I like it. I was kind of hoping to put on a good show, especially since I sponsored the race. But we've got another 3 more races that I'll be sponsoring. Hopefully I can put on a good show then. I just really hate it for this team. We worked really hard, and it doesn't look like we're going to make the chase now.
Unfortunate for you. Bucky, I hate it for you, man. You had a good run. Is the car dead, or can you get back on a racetrack?
I think we can get it back out there and try to salvage a couple of positions. I've got about 10 minutes of repairs left, so we'll see what we can do. Truck's a little sideways. I don't know. These guys are going to work real hard to get it fixed, but hopefully we can pick up some spots before the race is over.
All right, Bucky, see what you can do on that race truck. We're going to let you go here for the restart.
All right, I appreciate it. Everyone, check out the show this Monday night, 7 p.m., and go buy you some Nature's Bakery.
It's Bucky Birt, driver of that 25 machine. Tough end of the night for him. Hopefully he can get it on racetrack and make up a few spots. Tyler, we're getting ready for the restart here. Inside 20 laps to go in the final race before the playoff ends, or playoff begins.
Green flag out in the air, restart underway. It is a dead heat to the line. The 23 and the 19 and the 22 and 13 top 4 in a dead heat with each other, trying to jostle for final positions here. 23 able to clear the 19 of Curtis Young coming out of turn number 2. And here comes the 22 of Joshua Ramos. Gary Brown tries to drive the middle of the track, trying to defend the position. That's going to hurt his entry just a little bit, though, as, the 22, he's down on the apron, he's slow. It looks like he's trying to get onto pit road. Joshua Ramos on pit road, he might have had a penalty to serve there, a black flag for possibly passing under the yellow, but back up front, Gary Brown with the 19 right on his rear bumper. Here comes Curtis Young to the lead down the backstretch with a bumper.
Down the Nello straightaway into turn number 3, inside 20 laps to go, and inside the 23 is the 19 of Curtis Young, down for that lead spot as we come here, ending lap number 110. Who's going to get it this time by? It's going to be the 19, that purple truck on the inside. And while they're racing side by side, that's bringing the 13 of Derek Fisher into this one, Tyler. He's got a good little race truck. Hopefully he can get it up there. Meanwhile, that 19 getting clear for that lead. He's going to pull up in front of 23. No. He's going to allow him to take that outside lane, so we still got a battle brewing for that lead spot. Let's see what's going to happen here. That 85 of Judd Danielson right there behind him, in the 5 of Patrick Elhofer. We saw him on pit road get a little squirrely, but he's recovered and is now inside the top 5. And that 13, Tyler, he's coming.
Yeah, and so is the 85 of Judd Danielson. But the biggest thing I'm surprised about here tonight, just watching the drivers coming out of 2 and just defending the center of the track, that move I'm a little bit surprised with, because it really sacrifices their speed entering turn number 3. And here come the leaders right up onto the back bumper of 22 of Joshua Ramos as he's trying to get up to speed. This could be 3 wide as they enter turn number 1.
2 by 2 for the top 4 as they go into turn number 1. It's going to be 3 wide for that lead spot. The 22 on the inside, he's going to squeeze them up into the top side wall. It's going to maintain 3 wide, entering onto the back straightaway. It's going to sort out now as that 22 is going to let off. That battle for third is kind of settled down, but that battle for the still going on. At 23 holding strong on that outside as they come off of turn number 4. That outside lane still working for him. Let's see what's going to happen here as they cross the start-finish line. Tyler, we're closing in. 10 laps to go. What's going to happen?
This racing here tonight is just picking up now, and I think right now whoever gets out in front at this point is going to walk away with it. But with the 23 and 19 battling side by side lap after lap, they're burning off their tires quicker than the guys right behind them, just riding around watching this battle here. And it looks like the 23 of Gary Brown, he's going to clear the 19 as they head into turn number 1. Gary Brown gets that position there, but we're winding down the laps here. It's about 14 laps to go. That 19 is not going to give up easily here tonight.
Top 4 under a blanket. The 23 Gary Brown, 19 Curtis Young, 13 Derek Fisher, and the 85 of Judd Danielson. Heck, throw the 5 of Patrick Elhofer in there as well. All these guys inside 15 laps to go, all with a contention for the win. That 19 he's been beat for that lead, Tyler, as we come to the end of this race. That 23, as you said, if they can get out there by themselves, they're pretty much the winner. That 13, he's going after that 19 for second.
And look at the 5 of Patrick Elhofer right behind him. On the outside of Judd Danielson, that 5 of Patrick Elhofer, we've seen him time and time again have strong equipment, but just bad luck to where he can't close the deal. But he's sitting top 5 right now here tonight, and he's not out of this by any means. Everybody in the top 5 right now has a chance to get up here and win this thing. And there's just about 1.5 truck lengths between the leaders, another 1.5 between second and third place, but between third and fifth, there's barely any room to make any sort of mistake. And here comes the 19 closing in just a little bit on the 23 of Gary Brown. Curtis Young, he's going to take the high side with Gary Brown as the 13 and 85 and 5 work the middle and bottom lanes.
Just absolutely destroying the top side of the racetrack. They're getting close to that outside wall as they dive it down into turn number 3. They're going to use that bottom. Not going to flirt with that outside safer barrier coming off of turn number 4. Here we go to the line. 10 laps to go here at Las Vegas. 10 laps until the playoffs get started. At 23 of Gary Brown going for win number 1 of the year. The 19 going for God knows how many wins on the year, because he is absolutely dominated. That 23 is doing a good job holding him off. He's to the bottom side, down the back straightaway. That's going to allow that 13 to close in again. Tyler, I think that 13 can do it. He's got a fast enough car. It's the fact of getting by them.
Yeah, and it looks like the caution out. This will change everything, Gabe.
Looks like the caution is the 54 of Dennis Cook up on the wall in turn number 3. See what happened here. Oh, wow. Looks like I'm going to get the replay up for you. Look at the 99. That's the 99, isn't it? Yeah, Chuck Dix. He just flat turns him on the back straightaway. Gonna have to look back to see if they had any history before that, Tyler.
Really hard to say if that was intentional or if the 99 just sort of lost the feeling in the tires there, but that is a very interesting set of circumstances here on the backstretch, and coming to the end of this race and looking down pit road here, who came in, who stayed out, and it looks like the top 5 have all stayed out on the racetrack.
Looks like first one to come in is that 41 of Robert McFarland, the 16 of Justin Anderson. It looks like the 18 of Mark Fravert also comes in. And look at that 88 of David May. He's putting himself in a good position to get into the chase, Tyler.
Yeah, but look at what Justin Anderson just did. He just took tires, 4 fresh ones. He's going to have some of the freshest tires out there, and David May is the last truck to stay out. So I think Justin Anderson, he's going to really be the one that's going to benefit from this caution.
You're going to have to watch, because we're going to have a few laps to go here, Tyler. Maybe about, what would you say, about 6 or 7 laps to go. I don't know if that's enough time. He's going to cycle around to about the 11th spot. I don't know if that's enough time for him to get up there, but I tell you what, we're going to have a good race for that lead.
Oh yeah, this just got very interesting. We're going to have a restart, and the entire top 5 that we just saw battling, all on older tires here, and this restart could get very dicey. Las Vegas has been known to produce some wheel spin coming to the line here, so a lot of guys are going to have to be careful on the throttle, and we might see some big restart mess here if guys aren't careful.
Lights still on as they come by the start-finish line, so we should get a restart with about 5 laps to go. So you know what that means, Tyler. We are done with the pace car as soon as it comes on to pit road this next time. Because when you get inside, 5 laps to go, iRacing does not have a green-white checker system. It takes 5 laps to reset the field. So if we do get a caution in the next off this next restart, Tyler, the race is over with.
Yeah, depending on how quickly this caution may come out, it all depends on who's out in front at that moment, and if it's right off the restart, we could very well see a drag race to the finish there between the 23 and the 19, but I'm really hoping that this plays out to the very end under green, because just with how tight this racing has been, I really, really want to see this play out under green.
Drivers starting to loosely form up 2 by 2, so they should be at the 2 to go, should get the 1 to go this time. At 23, Gary Brown will be your leader, and the 19 of Curtis Young in second. At 13 of Derek Fisher. He's been really the comeback kid this whole race, because Tyler, he's run outside maybe the top 10 or a 15, and now he's up here in third. Where did he come from?
I'm not sure where that 13 of Derek Fisher came from tonight. Started back in 17th, really didn't make too much acknowledgement of him in the early part of this race, but halfway through his truck started to really come alive and was battling inside the top 10 there, lap after lap after lap, and now he sees himself sitting in the 3rd position on this restart. He's going to be right behind your leader, Gary Brown. Derek Fisher, a very, very strong chance to win this thing.
Lights are out atop that yellow American Childhood Cancer Organization Ford Mustang pace car, Tyler. That means we're going to get the restart here with 5 laps to go. Names to remember: Gary Brown, Curtis Young, Derek Fisher, Judd Danielson, Patrick Elhofer, David Gainforth, Chad Payne, David May, Robert McFarland, and Justin Anderson, all drivers inside the top 10. And barring a miracle, all drivers with a shot at the victory here tonight at Vegas. Pace car coming into turn number 3. It's going to roll into turn number 4 and take that hard left-hand turn onto pit road. It's going to be your final restart of the night. That 23 is going to take the inside lane, Tyler. It's going to get really good here coming to the restart. 85 back there, Judd Danielson warming his tires, getting ready. See what's going to happen. When does the flagman drop that green? Here we go. Green flag in the air for the final time here tonight. That 23 is going to beat him to the line this time. It's going to be a drag race down into turn number 1. And you got to remember, if we do get a caution, it is going to be the end of the race. So anytime it comes out, that race is going to be over with. So that these drivers are going to have to think about it. We're going to be side by side coming onto the Nello straightaway. 5 laps to go here. Curtis Young on the outside. He's going to have the pretty much dominant lane here, Tyler.
Oh man, there was almost some contact between the 5 and the 85 coming off of turn number 2, but right now the focus is on the lead. Here comes Curtis Young to the inside of Gary Brown. He was right on his back bumper, set him up perfectly. 4 laps to go as they head down to turn number 1. Curtis Young is going to clear the 23, but can the 23 come back? Almost more contact between the 85 and the 13. Here comes Gary Brown.
23 to the back bumper, the 19 going into turn number 3. Here comes the 85, that yellow-white car on the inside. That is Judd Danielson fighting for that second spot. While they do that, that's going to allow that 19 to pull away yet again. So here, 3 laps to go, Tyler. Here in the regular season, these drivers fighting for the final spots inside the chase grid. The 19 drivers, let's check on your drivers with new tires. The Justin Anderson and all these guys are still back there fighting around the top 15, so they're not making up any spots. The highest driver of them is that 88 of David May, so he looks like he's securely in the chase at the moment. Here comes that 23 of Gary Brown, though, Tyler. He's coming. He's coming.
2 laps to go for your leader, Curtis Young, right behind him, about 2 truck lengths behind the 23 of Gary Brown. Those two have been the class of the field all night long, and Gary Brown is just trying to get back to that back bumper of the 19. Here they come down into turn number 3, and the 23 closes in just a little bit, but not enough. They're going to round out of turn number 4. White flag is in the air.
White flag in the air. 1 lap to go here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. The Bucky Birt 192 going into turn number 1 for the final time. The 19 of Curtis Young out front. They come on the Vanilla straightaway one more time. That 85 of Joe Danielson in 3rd place. He's doing a good job. I tell you what, Tyler, when that 23 got the pole, I would have told you to bet on black. But you know what? By the end of the night, we're in Vegas. Bet on that 19. Put it all on that 19 of Curtis Young, because he's going to go to victory lane here in Vegas.
And coming to the line with an incredible run up through the field, 5th place Robert McFarland. He came in for tires on that last stop, and he had a huge head of steam there. And on the final lap, he gets himself a top 5. Derek Fisher, he falls outside the top 5 to 6th place, but ending up in 3rd place, Judd Danielson, 4th place, Patrick Elhofer. But your big winner here tonight is going to be Curtis Young, and also David May. He was able to hold off the charge from Justin Anderson late here to put himself into the chase.
At 19, doing some burnouts here in the grass in the middle of Las Vegas, USA. While he's doing that, we're going to gather him and the rest of your top 3 finishers. Looks like he's going to do a little backwards burnout here on the front straightaway. Curtis, he's done it enough. He can pretty much get creative with his burnouts here at Vegas. We'll be right back here on LSRTV. We're going to talk to him and the rest of your top finishers, as well as a full field rundown from the Domino's TYJ Dented Fenders Truck Series at Las Vegas. Back here live at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, Tyler, I'm up here in the booth with you, and that has got to be one of the better finishes I've seen. We saw the top four racing for the lead before the caution came out, and then we saw them racing side by side for the lead after the caution. But the 19 of Curtis Young gets the victory. That has got to be one of the better finishes I've seen.
Oh yeah, this came down to the wire here at Vegas, and it was anyone's bet as to who was going to win this. It was a drag race between the 19, the 23, the 85, the 5, the 13, and the 41 there at the very end, coming in for tires and just driving up through the field. It was anyone's, as I said, it was anyone's bet as to who was going to win this race.
Well, before we work our way on the pit road and the victory lane, we're going to go with a full field rundown here at Vegas of the almost 30 cars. The 19 of Curtis Young, of course, gets the victory for what has got to be almost his 10th victory of the year. He's getting close to it, Tyler. At 23, Gary Brown comes in home in second. 85 of Jed Danielson comes home in third. Patrick Elhofer in fourth. Robert McFarland with what has got to be his best finish of the year. Started 24th, ends up in fifth with a great top five finish. Derek Fisher falls back into sixth. Good finish for him, though. David Gainforth in the 101 comes home in seventh. Lynn McNeese in eighth. Marcus Potts come home in ninth. And David May comes home with the top 10.
11th place goes to Chad Payne. 12th to Mark Fravert. Justin Anderson, he could not get it done here tonight. He finishes in 13th position. Final truck on the lead lap. 420 of Russ Coe finishes one lap down in 14th. Dennis Cook will finish in the 15th position. Right behind him, Chuck Dix will finish 16th. 17th goes to Joshua Ramos. James Fay will finish 18th. 19th will go to Ray Richer. And your outside pole sitter, Gene Cullum, will finish in the 20th position.
21st, Bucky Birt comes home in that 25 machine. 18 laps down, a disappointing finish for him. Ran third and fourth. And that was actually your leader for the first part of this race. He comes home in 21st. Philip Meyer comes home 22nd after a huge crash on the back straightaway. Tyler Roberts comes home in 23rd. Michael Fravert in that 36th, 24th. And Moses Nezrico comes home in 25th.
Rest of the field had exited early here. Gerald Heffley will finish 26 over 100 laps down. Mike Donahue, Steve Cunningham, and Gary Weston, all involved in the first caution of the night, will finish 27th, 28th, and 29th respectively. But right now, Gabriel Wood is with the man of the hour down in victory lane.
Man of the hour, man of the week, man of the month, man of the year. It seems just about every week I'm talking to that 19 of Curtis Young in victory lane. Curtis, you did it again here at Vegas.
Yeah, I'm going to say that was the most fun race we've had all year. We had a couple green flag pit stops and then a caution near the end to tighten it back up, which I didn't think was going to fall in my favor, but managed to make it work.
You said that's got to be one of the funnest races of the year, but Curtis, that's got to be the hardest you've ever worked for a win. Gary Brown gave you a run for your money this week.
Yeah, I couldn't catch him all race. I was trying, and even on the long runs, I thought he might fall off a bit, but it was me falling off. And I tried to get him on pit strategy on the second time around. I tried to pit before him or have him follow me in. That was working, and then we had a caution fly, so it bunched us all back up, and he beat me off pit road. I had to get back by him again, and it was hard to get by him, so yeah, he ran a great race.
Now, Curtis, I got to ask, it's got to be a really stupid question, but can you continue this form in the chase?
I hope so. I honestly think Gary was real close to being getting in the chase there, so I think had he been locked in, he may have ran it a little bit harder at the end there, but yeah, I think he was playing it a little bit safe. I could be wrong, but yeah, that was an awesome race all around. I hope my luck and winning streaks can continue going into the chase.
All right, Curtis, one more time in the regular season, give thanks to your team and to the people who watch you get it done.
Yeah, I got to thank Eric Hawk, Gary Weston, Curtis Aho, my dad for watching, Robert for putting this league together, and you guys at LSRTV. You guys do an awesome job as well.
All right, we're going to let Curtis go, and Tyler, I believe you've caught up with a couple of drivers in that neon garage. You're going to start off with the 85 of Judd Danielson.
I caught up with our third place finisher here of the night, Judd Danielson. He started in 6th position, made his way up to the 3rd position at the very end, was involved in that tight battle for the lead there with about the top 5 vehicles there. Judd, take us through that battle there at the end.
Good evening. Yeah, I was really trying to hold on to what I had for tires, and I knew Curtis and Gary were good. They were the show tonight, so I was just trying to get myself pitched into the corners as fast as I could and try to. I admit pinch Gary up there a little bit if I could, but I just didn't have the speed that I felt like I had all week going into tonight. I just felt like the truck was just a tick off, but hey, nonetheless, I'll take it. 3rd place, absolutely.
Yeah, your results on the score sheet here show otherwise about lacking speed. You were 4th in practice, 6th in qualifying, so definitely had the speed there. And you were right there up in the top 5 all night long. What'd you think of the racing out here tonight?
Myself and many of the drivers tonight felt like this was probably our best race of the year. It was a lot of fun, a lot of give and take. Even though we were bumping a little bit here and there, nonetheless, the trucks were solid. The setup that Mike brought for us tonight was just fantastic. I think everybody really enjoyed. I was racing hard, but I was definitely giving, and I would take when I needed it. And most of the drivers were courteous enough that the ones that were down, they'd get out of the way, and we could keep racing hard. So, I definitely used up my tires. There is no doubt I raced that truck hard.
Well, with this momentum here of a 3rd place finish, how do you feel going into this chase here?
I'm probably going to win a race, maybe 2. I'm definitely going towards that championship. I've been working hard at this all year, so I'm glad I've been able to show what I've got at this point, and it paid off showing up at the end of the year. Got some momentum, so I'll take it.
Yeah, you've certainly shown us that you had the momentum, and as you said, it was fun for the drivers. It was fun for us to watch and announce here tonight with this race. Who helped you get it done here tonight?
Mom, number 1. Conspiracy Motorsports. Old school paints. Can't thank Sean enough. Just does a fantastic job on the paints for me. Rip and Eagle Racing and Curtis Aho, good team.
You guys just really lucked out up there. You got to see one heck of a race.
We're going to petition Robert and the rest of the admins to change the schedule to all.
Like to fly, Gabe, under the radar.
All right, Patrick, you got it done coming home with the top 5. Who gets it done for you? Of course, may as well name your favorite beer while you're at it.
Well, as you know, I like to drink Busch Light and other Busch products. I'd have to, biggest shout out goes to my crew chief, Duba. He's up there on the box week in, week out, putting these good cars together for me, and everybody else back at the EFR shop. And I'm excited. This was a great race.
All right, Patrick, congratulations. You brought that number 5 home in the top 5. Tyler, I'm going to throw it back up to you, man. Final thoughts before we close out tonight's broadcast.
Just a fantastic race here tonight at Vegas, and I can't think of a better way to really give you your send-off here, Gabe, with just a fantastic run to the finish for this entire series. Now, I was hoping it would stay green there at the end, and we got those final 5 laps in green flag racing, close racing all night long. And as Judd said, a lot of give and take, but it was just really great pack racing here. And, we couldn't tell who was going to be the winner here until coming out of turn 4 on the last lap.
Yeah, it's a great race, Tyler. As we close out tonight's broadcast, I'd just like to say, yeah, tonight has been my final event of the year for the Domino's TYJ Racing League up here in the booth as I moved to Oklahoma to pursue another career. I'd like to thank the Domino's League for choosing me to be their announcer for the 2016 season. It overjoyed me to get that email beginning of 2016. I'd like to thank my colleague Tyler Hurd for putting up with me for the past few months, and most of all, I'd like to thank Cisco Scarmuzza and Laura Lawson for giving me the opportunity to explore talent that I never thought I'd had. Join the rest of the gang this weekend and throughout the year for the Domino's TYJ Racing League, USR Truck Series, RSR and Ascor's Truck and Cup Series for great racing action here on LSRTV, the voice of sim racing.
This copyrighted broadcast is presented under the authority of LSRTV LLC and iRacing.com Motorsports Simulations and may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form, nor the accounts and descriptions of this event disseminated in any way without the express written permission of Live Sim Racing TV. LSRTV would like to thank its loyal fans for their continued support, and we hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast.